Empathy is seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling the heart of another. Alfred Adler. We're going to be talking about empathy today because it's a very vital piece in forming genuine connections, and it's one that a lot of you struggle with. We're going to be going over understanding empathy, empathy in communication, and empathy in action. We're going to start off with understanding it with a definition. Empathy is, in a layman's term, understanding or feeling how someone else is feeling, thinking or seeing. That's it. Let's say, for instance, I'm feeling sad. You being empathetic would be feeling sad as well. Now, sympathetic would be different than empathetic, because when I am empathetic, me and you are feeling the same thing. When I am sympathetic, I feel for you feeling a thing. I'm not feeling it, but I understand that you are feeling it. These are two completely different things, and this is where a lot of people get hung up because they believe that they can build genuine connections with sympathy instead of empathy. Sympathy comes off as pity, and that is how you ruin a connection super fast. If you've had trouble building connections in the past, it may be because of the fact that you're using sympathy instead of empathy. Now, I want you to imagine that your mom has gotten sick. We're not going to say that she got sick with anything serious, just the flu, and she's coughing. You can tell she's congested, she's got a headache. How would you feel? Sympathetic or empathetic? You have a choice. You can feel sympathetic by feeling sorry for her, or you can feel empathetic. You can feel how she's feeling, understand the pain, understand the misery of the sickness. And which one do you think it would be easier for you to connect with her if you were simulating the feelings of the misery and the pain? Thinking about how the head is hurting and throbbing, thinking about how she can't breathe through her nose, all of these different facts. That's exactly how you use empathy in communication. We're going to use another example to stress this point of empathy. We're going to go up to somebody, and let's say this person is looking sad. This person's looking sad, hunched over posture, very, very low energy. You can just tell that this person is feeling sad. And you try to come up to them and you try to talk to them. This is one of your friends. You're like, hey man, what's going on? What's up? They bring you the breakdown. Their girlfriend just broke up with them. How could you use empathy? First, I'll give you an example of how you could feel sympathy. How you could use sympathy to try to build this connection. Be like, yeah man, I'm sorry for you. That's it. That's all sympathy is, being sorry for someone. Or you can build that connection using empathy. Man, I really understand how that feels. I remember when my girlfriend broke up with me this one time, and then you give them like a short story. You don't want to make it about yourself. It's always about the other person when you're having a conversation. Tell me how you're feeling, bro. Break down exactly what you feel right now. Just get them talking about their feelings. And then the more that they break down their feelings, you get connected to your own situation. Boom. That is empathy. You feel the cogs kind of turning up there. We can go into empathy and how you can put it into action, because that's empathy and communication. Empathy in action is using your own situations to connect with somebody else's. Just like in that last example where we used the breakups and how this friend had a breakup and you connected with your own story of a breakup. How can you do this? How can you use empathy in action? Well, first, who are you talking to? If you're talking to your friend, it's a lot easier because you already have that connection built. You can go with your own stories first. You're trying to use empathy with another person, you have to start by validating their feelings. Because if you start with your own story, then it's going to feel like you're making the situation about you instead of them. And that turns into sympathy instead of it. Start with validating their feelings. Yes, I understand what you're feeling. What you're feeling is correct. All of those phrases that you can use to make sure that you really understand that, yes, this pain is fine, dude. It's okay. You're in the right spot. It's okay to feel these things. When you use validation in a scenario, people start to build trust with you. And when you build trust and you build a connection with that trust, you start to form a friendship. Simply by being empathetic with people. And of course, you have to actively listen. Empathy and active listening tie into each other. Because when you're being empathetic, you can't be empathetic like this. If you're talking to me, then it feels like I don't care. Empathy is not only about how you tell the other person that you feel, but how you actually feel with your body. You have to show it, not only speak it. That's a big part of forming connections that a lot of people don't talk about. So when I'm being empathetic, I have to show you I'm being empathetic. You're talking, you're being, let's say for example, we'll use this right now, tell me about a situation where I can use empathy with you. Let's say something bad that has happened this week. 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry that happened to you. I totally understand. That's empathy. Whatever you said, I can build a connection with using my own personal experience. Framework. Validate feelings. Use your own experience to build a connection. Now, I'm going to give you an actionable step. I want you to use the same prompt. What have you been up to recently? I said this in another video in the past. It's really, really good at helping you start conversations. I want you to go up to someone, use the prompt, and let them talk. Now, I want you to try to find something that you can be empathetic about. It doesn't have to be something sad. You can have empathy about something happy. You can build a connection over something that you guys both like, using empathy to validate their feelings of, yes, this thing is really cool, I agree. And then you can build your own connection. I have experience with this thing as well. Boom. That's empathy just as much as having someone feel sad and you being sad with them. And it's a lot easier, it's a lot happier. That's all that I have for you. If I added value, you can add value to me by sharing, liking, and subbing. I do coaching as well, and if you would like to break out of your social shell and into the social realm, click that top link in the description, book a call with me. I appreciate you watching all the way through. I'll see you in the next one.